How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. How
What
are you doing? It's early in the morning for you.
sure is. What time is it right now over there, actually?
Noon. Yeah.
Oh, you see what happened is we just changed our time again.
Yeah, you did not.
Daylight saving time was just over. So we went,
Okay.
yeah, so it pushed me back another hour. So
Sorry.
it, it's actually 5:45 right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, really keep on.
Well, I'm glad I'm glad you guys took the time out to share your story with me. Um, so who is Emma? Can I get
It's
that?
me.
Okay, all right.
Hello.
How
Yeah.
you doing? And what's everyone's name?
Okay, my name is Christina.
I'm Carolina.
I'm Ellen.
I'm Eleanor. I'm Anna. I'm Elin.
And I'm Jessica.
Okay, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. I must say, you guys are epic singers.
Thank you.
All right. So, the name of the choir is Release. Say it again.
Yeah. Really.
Release the choir. Okay. All right. Ready to get started?
Yeah, I think we are. Let's see. Let's see.
All right. All right. So, hi everyone. Today I have with me a bunch of great singers, and they are called the Release Choir. I've got the opportunity to just watch some of their videos and just kind of get a feel of what they're about, and they're about something that I'm about, and that's singing for Jesus. And their message has been awesome. And right now, we're going to dive in with them. Welcome to Passion Behind the Art. So, today, the first question, I know this one is going to be, I guess, kind of long. The first question is, when did you fall in love with music, and at what age was that?
Wow. Okay. Who wants to start? Just keep it short, and everyone who wants to answer can answer. Maybe short one from everyone.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
You can
start.
start.
No, I'm raised. My dad is a musician, so for me, it's been like it's not a particular that I remember one time when I really, really fell in love. It was like a long relationship with music, and so it's. I think I've been singing since I remember, and I love how it makes me feel, how it starts me to feel something.
Mm.
So it's, I think, singing without something like emotions is, I think that is what started me to really love music.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. Awesome.
And the same with me. I've also been singing since I could talk.
Oh, okay.
But my first memory of music when I fell in love was at kindergarten when I was 4 years old. And we always had a gathering in the mornings where we sat down in a circle and we sang. And the teacher always had a guitar. And I fell in love with that guitar. And I also wanted one. So for my birthday, my parents bought me a guitar when I
Awesome.
was 4 years old. And ever since then, I've been singing and playing, and yeah.
Awesome.
For me, I'm also like born and raised with music, but I don't come from a family who practice music themselves.
Okay.
They just have a great passion and love for music and have been listening to music since forever. and so I was listening to music from like born and raised with just listening to music,
Okay.
and it came like gradually, and I don't have an exact time for when it happened.
Right.
So it came gradually, and I have been singing since I could talk as well. So I don't remember. There's been a lot of singing, a lot of music, everything. Yeah. But my family really, really love music and listen to music every day. So I think it came from there, just listening to music, and they have a passion for music as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, and they sang with me a lot when I was little, but they can't sing, but they do it with love. So I think it came from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my family as well. I'm born and raised with music.
Mm-hmm.
Both of my brothers are played, and my one brother is still like piano, and my other brother plays the saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I've always been singing in a choir when I was a child, but I started to play the clarinet and the saxophone.
Okay.
And when I was 16, I started to sing more like individual. And I think it was then I found my instrument.
Oh, okay.
And more connected to what I was playing and singing.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was the time when something happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, should I go?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't really come from a music family, I can say that. I just know that my dad told me that he, I always, when he discovered something with me, it was, I think, when I just, every time when we were going somewhere in the car, I would listen to music and I had my headphones on
Mm-hmm.
and I would just sing, maybe a bit too loud in the car. Yeah, that was the time that I could hear some potential in me.
Okay.
So, thanks to my dad. I started to sing at an early age.
Okay.
But just like Ellen, I think that I discovered my own musicality. Yeah, I can say that. Maybe when I was 13 or 14, that I discovered my instrument.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. And I don't really come from a music family, but I listen a lot to music. And I remember my grandma, she had a piano at her house. And every time we came there, I was 5, 4 maybe, I was like stuck with the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, stand around, yeah, I know, I'm just going to do this. But I couldn't play. So, but everyone was, oh, it's beautiful. I just kept on playing. And the same thing was with my best friend. When I was 7, 8, they had a piano. We didn't have a piano.
Okay.
I got stuck with their piano. And so I started out with piano. And then I found my voice. And I think it was like that it was through my voice I could communicate what I wanted to.
All right.
And since then I've been writing my own music and singing a lot of gospel. And yeah, it's like eating. It's like sleeping and singing. I just need to do it.
Yeah, I come from a music family. My parents are musicians, so it was like a natural, maybe kind of boring way to go because I had no choice.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like when I was born, I started singing, and then I just kept on going. I still am. So yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I don't. It's the kind of same stories around I hear because me too. I don't have a special like a memory from
All right.
where I started to love music. I've always done it, and I've always loved singing. As a little child, I always loved being on stage, and I wanted to sing. And I think for me, when I've grown older, sadly there have been a lot of like prestige in the music. I think for me, but in the last maybe like the last couple of years, I've really found I think the soul in the music for me, where I can just sing from my heart, and if I'm sad, I can just sing and I will cry and laugh at the same time. I've finally found the love for myself in the music. I think in a couple of the last years.
Okay.
But I always loved music, but there has been a lot of prestige in it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, and that can happen. Sometimes it can be even like a love-hate relationship between music and,
Yeah.
So my question is, how did the gospel music come about, and why gospel?
I remember I listened to Mariah Carey's
Mm-hmm.
one of her first albums. I think it's called Music Box.
All right.
And she had like really, I would say, feta, massive, big choirs behind her.
Right.
Not like always doing. I was hearing those choirs like I need to be in such a choir.
Right.
So for me, it started with I think Mariah Carey. Yeah.
For me, it started with a CD. I don't know how I got it. I think I was like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with a CD for me. And it was the first gospel choir of Sweden. You know what I mean?
No. The Joy Bells.
Yeah.
The Joy Bells in Örebro, in the middle of Sweden.
So I got their CD, and they were just like classics,
Okay.
Oh, happy day! And stuff like that. Now it's just like, oh my God, this is what I'm going to do. But then it just came back to me when I was 18 and started a school to study gospel music for 1 year here in Sweden, in the south of Sweden. So I studied gospel music for 1 year, and I went to Chicago, and we went to the same class, me and Tina.
And how many years was that ago? 9 years ago?
Like, something like that. We've been there, and we're a couple who studied there, this gospel music 1 year. And then I really fell in love, and I didn't know that I missed it like all my life. Then I knew it was like,
it's cool because we're not right here in gospel music isn't like it's not in churches.
Right.
You don't hear it in churches like and it's not ordinary like every day in the Swedish church as it's called.
Right.
It's maybe a little more gospel, but not like it's more traditional. I don't know, like
choral.
Yeah, choral music.
Yeah.
So, but more classical.
Wow.
But here, in the high school, here that was the first time when they had like a class gospel choir.
Okay.
And I was like, what's that like? And then when they started saying, it's like I've never heard anything like that before. It was like it just got me. I fell in love. It was like the harmonies and the way to sing, how to reach out for like, I don't know. It was so gripping. I don't know. It was really beautiful. So it started there for me, the gospel.
So how did this happen?
This choir really started because after this year, when I was studying gospel music for 1 year, when I quit that year, it wasn't, do you say like emptiness?
Right.
And I felt like something was missing, and I didn't know what it was. And I just...
You went to music, you went to...
another music school to study like rock music for 2 years. But it was something missing all the time.
Then you went to the university, wasn't it?
Yeah, university as well. And the first year at the university, I felt like I have to bring the gospel back in my life. And I need to start a gospel choir here. I want to sing, and I can lead it. And I want my friends and colleagues to join me in this one. So I just missed the gospel music. So I started a gospel choir. and now I have been how many years? 9
Like-
years. 9 years.
Less than
7. 7 years.
So I mean, I know it's kind of hard, but how did you all know each other a long time before the choir? I know 3 of you were studying at the same.
No, because we have different backgrounds and
Right.
different. We all have like music,
All right.
like together, like a yeah.
Yeah, that was it. But the thing is, Emma and me went to school together, and
Right.
it's a gospel, like 1 year. It's between high school and university, like yeah. And me and Anna, we lived in Stockholm together and sang in a gospel choir there. So when I moved back, I'm from Malmo originally, but when I moved back, and Anna moved here, and then like started in choir, like Anna, you have to be in the choir. I have to have you because she's so talented, and yeah, everybody is. But it's like so I think everybody has someone.
Network from different backgrounds in different schools.
Okay.
And everyone come from. We studied together back in high school. Back in high school, and we studied together, and we studied together, and
We started together.
It's a mix. But we are four originals from the start, and then it's new members all the time, and
Okay.
then we stop for some members and going through, and then we just come through, and people quit or come back or like this. So
Okay.
we have 4 originals in this choir, and now we've been this choir with these people for some time now, and
Okay.
I think we are like never been this good and this real and it's very, very on the top right now.
Okay.
Emotional and friendly and everything.
Yeah.
So it's
And the sound as well. And I think we have the same mindset for what we want for this choir and where we want to go. So
Which is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very important. So my question is, when people hear release choir, or what is it that you want them to feel, or what is the message that you're trying to send?
we want them to feel.
Yeah,
Like,
something.
Yeah. We want to. I mean, I want people to feel something.
Right.
Yeah, and that's something. Yeah, as long as they feel something and that they can like relate to us and if they can relate to what we're singing about, then I'm over it. Yeah.
Because everyone, when they listen to the same song, everybody feels different.
Right.
And
Which is true.
different thoughts and different memories, and I just want them to be touched by music in some way.
Yeah, because gospel music really has that effect
Right.
on people to get in
Both words
contact
and like
get in
music.
contact with themselves and with emotions and feelings, or with God, or with memories, or with for me it's so much feelings everywhere, and I can't sing gospel without feeling
Something.
then it's gospel for me. I have to feel, and I think it's the same for everyone, that you can feel so much, and I think we want to let people get in contact with feelings and letting their feelings and emotions show and just feel something or everything at the same time.
And that's maybe not so typical for a Swede
No.
to do.
No, exactly.
But we had a concert in a church now this summer, and it was a very big church, and there were not so many, like 50 people, maybe. And
No,
they were
50.
like, okay, sorry. They were like sitting quite in the back,
Really?
and
Spread out.
they are not like.
They're not joining.
No, they are not like joining.
Stone face. It was stone face. Everybody's like, ooh, how can we get through?
But what's also very nice is that you can have this feeling when you're standing there on the stage, like, oh my God, they don't like this.
Mm.
They're not here. But then afterwards,
Right.
someone is coming. Oh my God, it was the best thing I've ever heard. And we're like,
Mm.
what? You're kidding?
Wow.
But they're not like showing it.
Oh,
They're
it's
keeping it inside.
right.
And we're like,
It's basically like they're just kind of sitting there taking it in. Not
yeah. And
okay.
and I don't and I don't know if you're not from here and you haven't been in a church in Sweden and you haven't. I think. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's hard to relate for somebody like I don't know, like in America or that you have the
Charismatic.
yeah, the energy
Mhm.
in the gospel and in the church.
Mhm.
You don't have it here.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Yeah.
No, because
like-
traditionally
Yeah,
in a Swedish church, you don't clap your hands.
Hmm.
You don't you can't.
No,
No, it's like every time you've been singing in Swedish, we got applause. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
oh my God.
yeah,
Yeah,
but they can still think it's good. But when
Yeah.
they applaud, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It does,
Okay.
It's not.
they don't know. They don't show what they.
It's not very expressive.
They feel.
No.
They,
Okay.
they
Okay.
don't dare to express it. I
Yeah.
think. And
They
that,
don't dare.
No, and
They
that is
don't
what I.
dance.
That is what I want people to. I want people to dare to express themselves.
Right.
Just let go of that.
Just let go of all the prestige. And in Sweden, a lot. I think there is a lot of prestige in the music.
Mm.
If
So-
if somebody who doesn't feel that they can sing, they
Right.
don't want to sing.
Mm.
They don't
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
Well, I guess
want to sing.
the good thing is that it doesn't mean that they don't like it.
No.
Right. It's just kind of the culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't show it. They don't show
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so during this journey, who would you say how many people are, if it's more than one, not necessarily the number, but who they are that was very supportive during this journey? Who would you say your best support came from?
For the choir.
Yes, for the choir. I'm talking about for the choir.
I think it's hard to, yeah.
Emma.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did Emma get her support from? Because I mean, with any kind of venture, especially what you just said, I mean, you need some kind of support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I do. Because it's hard to, fight for something when you don't have people believing in it. And especially when it's like, gospel music is very like small. In Sweden, it's not a big,
It's not a big thing.
The genre. It's like
it's very
really-
small and it's like kind of new. It's getting more and more gospel choirs around in Sweden right now, but it's kind of new. But my support has like always been my parents, in my whole life. So also in this one, but I think for the best thing is when you have done something like a concert or a performance somewhere, to get these unknown people, to see them getting touched,
Right.
and to see them like showing their emotions or telling me or telling us this was so good and you sound awesome and you really got me feel something like that. And when people like really have this big smile on their face,
Right.
or cry when I see that some persons really became something else right now, that is a great what gets me keep going with
Right.
it.
Inspirations
Like from other people when you don't know people. I think it's quite big when people you don't know
Mm-hmm.
show something,
Right.
because you don't know them.
Yeah, there's no connection. Right.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Right.
that's a great that's a great like support for me.
Okay.
But also these guys, they are with me on this journey, and they believe in me, and I believe in them, and together we'll just keep fighting for this, and we love it together. So without these guys, I couldn't be here because we do it real much together. Even though I take the hard things and stuff like that, but yeah, go together.
Okay, awesome,
You're
awesome.
emotional here.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing because this is what I want. I want the truth, and I want to kind of, as someone else sees this video, they kind of get something from it and see how real it is. And the next question is, what would you say? And this, I'm fine with being individual or as a group, but what would you say like is the greatest struggles with either getting up from the point where from you guys starting out to meeting as a group and so forth, but what would you say was the greatest struggle with for you as an individual and as groups in this journey of music?
And like you have to compare yourself with everyone, or you don't have to, you do.
Right.
Like, and that's lame
Right.
because it should be like just you. You should like compare it to yourself and like not to others because it's you
Right.
that matters
Right.
in all of this. And yeah, that's been my biggest struggle.
And if you're in a group, it's like maybe sometimes like as you said, it's like, oh, that person, oh, that could be like this, or but when you're a group, you have to be one,
Right.
and there always struggles to be one voice. It's like maybe one has a really, maybe I've always had the feeling that my voice is so, I can sing really loudly, you know, to be able to really go back. It's like to adjust to the group. I
Right.
mean, sometimes I would just like to be all over the place. But, you know, I love it and I want to be here in the group. It wouldn't be good if I just went crazy. So it's a struggle, but it's not so a big struggle. But it's, of course, I have to hold back myself sometimes. But it's a good thing. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my struggle has been to to play and to play with musicians that I can trust in and that I can have a good communication with,
Right.
like a good energy. I played with many musicians that it hasn't been in that way, and then I cannot. It's not real. There's no real feeling for me, and that's what I want when I'm singing and when I'm playing and when I'm writing music and everything. And I think this group is that kind of group where I can be myself and where I can sound as I do.
Right.
And develop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we like supporting each other in our struggles.
Right.
Yeah. So beautiful. We have a great thing going on.
Yeah. And that's also a way to take another direction away from the stage.
Yeah.
And, to just be with people that is just good to play with.
Yeah. I have never felt like in this group that I have never felt like unsure and about myself or my musicality with these guys here, because it's like this is one place where I can feel like, yeah, we're together.
Yeah.
And I've never felt like any prestige when I sing here. Like when I know when I went to the music academy here in Sweden, that was a big struggle for me because I thought it was like, yeah, people, musicians everywhere, yeah, let's do this. And it was more like a very cold and hard like climate at the school where it's like, oh, she's better than you, he's better than you, and I'm not that as good as him or her. It was like, oh, where am I?
Yeah. That's not what music is about, right?
Hard. And it's not what music is about. So it's so good to sing here in this choir because there's no prestige here. I feel that.
And I think when you don't have that much prestige, you dare to express yourself. When you dare to express something, you get better.
Yeah.
And I also feel that.
And I'm a little sad because when I think about all the prestige that can be in music, and music should just be like just sing from your heart or to play from your heart and just have feel love or feel sad or feel whatever you want, and it doesn't have to be like perfect, and it doesn't
technique doesn't have to be exactly or because it's the no.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Like, I just really I'm not to say this. It's like I love music is the best way to express feelings, and I think from my home, I have always been so supported in my home but my dad has always been like telling me or like asking for, well, when are you going to really have a record release, or when are you going to? It's always been like this. When are you going to do this, or when are you going to do that? And you just feel like, oh my God, can I just
sing?
This is my life. This is my love. This is like breathing. I don't have to.
Right.
Can I just let me breathe?
Right.
That is like that.
And to be honest, to get to that place where you guys are, where it doesn't necessarily, the drive is not necessarily to have an album or to do this, but just the consistent coming out and practicing and singing is fulfillment for you. I can tell you that people that do all of these other stuff still don't have fulfillment, and to have fulfillment is like the greatest thing ever because it puts everything in perspective, and you don't need a lot of the other stuff to just, you could find fulfillment in just coming to practice and just being together. And for you guys to be at that point, it's I must commend you because a lot of people are not. They're looking for, as you would say, comparing, and they're comparing themselves with someone else, and that's kind of their benchmark for fulfillment, and they never get there because the minute they look at that, they get to that level, they're comparing themselves with the next person, and it keeps going on and on and on. So I would say that the greatest struggle that I am seeing that you guys are experiencing is the struggle of prestige and combating that. And to me, I feel like you guys are well on your way, and you have this circle that you come back to no matter what you experience outside. You have this circle that you kind of come back to, kind of put everything in perspective, and it's pretty awesome. I'm mad I'm not in Sweden. I'll probably come watch you guys. But I mean, what you guys have is beautiful. I must say it is beautiful, and I'm touched by just what you have to share and just the openness. I mean, I'm really touched that you have been a blessing, and I believe that you'll continue to be a blessing, you know. And if there's anything that you would say that you would want to share to other musicians, I mean, outside of what you've already shared, which you've already shared a lot, but what advice, you know, would you give another musician to say, kind of give them some kind of advice?
Always put your heart. Get to the
Yeah.
Don't think too much.
Exactly. That was I was supposed to say. Like,
Just do.
yeah.
Do your thing. And be proud of it. And have fun. While
Yeah.
you do it.
Exactly.
And never forget like your own intention and purpose with you making music or
Yeah.
your love to music, or don't compare yourself to anyone else, another life or whatever. Just don't compare yourself.
Yeah,
Don't
that will ruin you if you start to compare, because I think because you will never get there, you'll be something else, but you will never be that person. So that's strange if you really compare yourself to that. So
And you see, sometimes
Do your
people mistake comparing for wanting to be good, and I believe it's two different things. You can want to be good and not compare yourself with someone.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And to be honest, the thinking is one of the most crippling things ever. To just constantly be too much thinking will kind of even stop you from taking action. So I like
Yeah.
that. Just do it. Just do it.
yeah, exactly.
And isn't it a big difference in inspiration to be inspired by somebody?
Right. Which is true. Which is true.
Wanting to be like that.
Which is true.
That is
That's a great point. I think that is spot on. To be inspired is much different from trying to be someone, because inspiration is beauty, and it kind of it first of all, it makes you feel something that you've never felt before, and it makes you want to go on. Which that is, I think that's spot on. Getting inspired, not trying to compare.
Yeah.
Now time for the singing. I want to hear you guys.
Yeah, maybe like my microphone on my computer is not very good. So and we think
Pretty loud.
it would be distortion.
Yeah,
Like
We tried it, yeah.
so we feel some distortion. So we're just gonna move you back. a
That's
bit
fine.
with the computer.
Var ska vi vara någonstans?
Då är det också en kväll här.
Okay.
I need your help. Just can't make it without your help.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.